gone. So we'll see. We'll see what these players can get their hands on. I feel like the Pantheon, Zhao, obviously the big prio picks in my mind.
Yeah, there's a bunch of junglers that are going to be looked at here, as the Varus and the Rumble will be our first bans. Pretty understandable. As Karma needs to be taken away as well. So, what is going to be the next on the chopping block? Orianna going to be taken away earlier. I mean, it would mean that Caitlyn and Nocturne would be the next bans if we're copying game one.
I don't think they strictly need to be as much. But yeah, these 4 first bans are like they're just the most generic currently bans. The 4 highest prio bans picks we've had so far in the LCK. So not really saying much about direction here. We'll see if we get... It is the Kellin again. BNK FEARX. So not wanting to give that one over. Concerned about the lane pressure that could be there.
So exactly the same bans are possible for the Nocturne band here. But it might be the Dplus have a different idea in mind. Just have to see. They are second pick. So leaving up a Zhao or something like that could allow that one to be first picked, as they do ban away the Nocturne. So exactly the same bans.
Yeah, little slight different order for Dplus, but it just means that BNK FEARX going for that first pick of the Zhao. Presumably Dplus can answer with a Pantheon in this situation. And then what are you picking up alongside the Pantheon? I think a concern is, could BNK FEARX just go Ashe Seraphine here? What would be the response to that? Ashe Seraphine, Zhao, really powerful trio.
Oh, yeah.
That we've seen many times.
Might be Dplus considering locking that one in themselves, but I was wondering about this. We did see Canyon play it earlier. We know that Lucid really likes the Trundle, and it is a pretty good matchup into the Zhao, and they do deny half of the Ashe Seraphine.
And one of the things is that sometimes we've seen like Caitlyn Seraphine. Caitlyn's obviously gone. If you do want to deny the Seraphine, what are you specifically going to pair with?
Kog'Maw Seraphine.
I think you need Lulu for Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
I think it's mandatory.
Well, Ezreal is going to be the first.
Ezreal Nico.
Ezreal, oh god, Ezreal Seraphine? Okay.
That's a little bit different.
I don't know how much I like it, but let's have a look and see how it works.
So pretty poke heavy lane. I feel like you could go something like a Nautilus here if you really wanted to just target the Seraphine. That's an option.
Or you could just go the Seraphine before Seraphine and lock in Sona.
Going for Lulu doesn't give you as much lane pressure, but obviously a lot of sustained DPS between the Ashe-Lulu combo.
Can also make Nocturne extremely tanky.
You mean Trundle?
Sorry, yeah, not Nocturne. Yeah, the Trundle can be very, very scary.
I mean, good value on the polymorph, but yeah, this Ezreal Seraphine has a lot more poke in the 2v2, so Slayer and Kellin should be pretty happy with playing this one out. Looking towards the mid lane bans now with the Azir being taken away.
Yeah, have to have a look at what VicLa and Clear are both going to be playing here in this game. Same for Siwoo and ShowMaker. Still a bit up and available, but with the Ryze, Annie, Azir, and the Orianna being banned away, it does mean that we are at sort of the second tier of mid laners. I think Aurora certainly going to have the stocks rise.
Yeah, I think Aurora's a big standout in this position. See Vayne being banned away, concerned about Siwoo going on a side laner that could be problematic.
There's also pairs well with Trundle.
Yeah, there's also his Ambessa, which is obviously very strong. So if we get a look towards that, wouldn't be too surprising.
Okay, one more ban. If Dplus, it will be the Bird.
I think the Nevi is a good ban here. Into, a lot of immobile picks so far. No dashes on anything that Dplus has. The wall can be a bit suffocating.
Okay, one more be taken away. They have been focusing on Siwoo so far. Will it be another top lane ban? It's going to be the question. Twisted Fate taken away. That is not top lane.
From ShowMaker, I mean, could be top lane.
No, that's true.
But I think makes sense when you have a Seraphine, because to me, I would just, if I had TF, I would just be ganking bot non-stop and killing Kellin on repeat. They're going here for that blind Gnar.
Not sure about that. We have seen a few different responses into the blind Gnar. The Sylas has been one of them, but other options there as well. Let's have a look at exactly what BNK FEARX are going to be finalizing for this draft. Okay.
Well, we have seen some people just pick Renekton, even into the Gnar.
Today, in fact.
Yeah, it has happened. So, could be an option. Aurora, we were talking about already, is kind of the highest prior mid laner that's still open and available. Could, in theory, be flexed, but it's going to be that Ambessa pick that we kind of know Siwoo for being picked here into him.
And it hasn't been winning very much. If you guys were watching yesterday, we did have our stats, and the Ambessa has been struggling in top lane, especially in the jungle, but definitely in top lane as well. And the last pickup here, what is VicLa going to be doing? We imagine the Aurora is probably coming in, but instead, a pivot over to the Akali, and that will be the lock-in.
Okay, bringing in some dive threat here. Don't know the mid matchup as of yet. ShowMaker looking towards potentially the Ahri, something with a bit of safety, but I think Aurora is kind of being this thing we've talked about.
Mid Renekton? Mid Renekton would be so fun. He has played that in the past. I lost my head to him playing mid Renekton, actually. That was not positive for me.
Okay.
As the Ahri will be the lock-in.
So we've seen ShowMaker have some pop-off Ahri games. Obviously, if you get the momentum in the fight, it can really be a problem. When you have a composition with the Trundle Subjugate, with Ashe Arrow, with Polymorph, killing that first target seems like something that's very possible. For BNK FEARX, they have a lot of dive threats that I think are going to try and get onto Smash, punish him. But you have a lot of peel from the side of Dplus, so able to potentially survive that, disengage, get the resets on Ahri, and push back out will kind of be the MO of Dplus here. I'm a little bit concerned about the bot lane 2v2 for the Ashe Seraphine for smashing Korea.
Yeah, I think this Ashe Lulu vibe, I think we've seen it played before here in the LCK. I can't even remember how it went, but it's not exactly an inspiring lane. We've seen a bit of trying to deny the Ashe Seraphine before, but we'll just have to see how they go on either sides of the rift as opposed to wielded together. VicLa's Akali, though, is a really fun one because he did do so well on it in the past when I was touting the year of VicLa. And we'll see whether he can do well again today.
Hopefully he can. Manage to get that solo kill against Chovy back in LCK Cup. See if he can repeat that level of performance.
Yep, let's get into it. Game 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 2. BNK FEARX to take on Dplus Kia. Already a little bit of a group maneuver, but I think Kellin is almost giving it away by humming so much. And VicLa already taking infinitely more damage than ShowMaker this game.
ShowMaker also going for the Ignite in this matchup, so really wants to have that pressure in the 1v1 and look for kill potential onto the Akali. Also, it helps out, when you look at the 2v2 between Lucid, ShowMaker, Raptor, VicLa, adding that Ignite to the mix, especially when there's a lot of healing for the Zhao, really makes it unfavorable for Raptor to come mid. If Lucid turns up and it turns into a 2v2, you will just get kind of annihilated.
Yeah, so far, a little bit of a battle for the minion wave, as it is just going to be all the minions destroyed, and now the fight will break out. Good Glitterlance is going to connect onto Slayer there, but he does land the Mystic Shot to even out the trade. Dplus actually looking a little worse for wear. Trade of both heals, and no barriers used just yet.
Level 2 going to be hit.
Yep, there it is. Slayer goes in, hits basically everything as the barrier is going to be used by both of these AD carries. If that Mystic Shot landed, Smash might have just been going home right there. But the hyper-aggression continues here from the new bottom lane AD carry in Slayer.
Yeah, we saw Smash get some good autos off level 1, but as soon as that level 2's hit, just ran down there, and the range of the Ezreal, just placing those Mystic Shots, causing some issue right now. It's that long-range poke, there's just not much you can do against, and Korea can mitigate it a bit with the shield, but it's not like you're a Nami who has to sustain to actually survive that.
Yeah. And so now you've got Dplus missing cannons underneath this turret, and in fact the health bars of these minions are very, very annoying, and at least Korea is able to execute that last one.
The Q from Seraphine doing more damage when you're on low HP. It's hitting smash there for so much. Now, we do get the Hawk Shot coming through. Just going to scout out the bot side jungle. Doesn't spot Raptor specifically, just where his camps have been.
Yep. So I think they have an idea that he is towards the bottom side of the map. As Lucid just going to hit the blue buff with his baseball bat, completes his clear as well, and gets immediately onto this Rift Scuttler. Raptor moving up, but obviously Trundle very, very good at eating shellfish, as Korea has to flash in this bottom lane. He's just trying to get some information. As Lucid rotates up, should be a double scuttle over for the Trundle.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected in this matchup that you're just going to struggle to contest the Trundle, the Trundle outright unless you have the support from your lanes. And ShowMaker has had a lot of pressure in this mid lane already. And I feel like whenever you're playing an Akali, we always talk about like weathering the storm in a matchup, similar to Yone, where like you soak up the poke and just try and pick up as much farm as possible while sustaining with your runes and Doran shield. But when the opponent has Ignite, I feel like it just makes it so much scarier. Because you know that like the health threshold you're safe on is suddenly no longer as safe.
Well, VicLa able to get the cannon there with the Shuriken backflip. You're exactly right. ShowMaker is right now playing pretty aggressively, just trying to do his best to zone, and is ahead by about 6 CS as the dust settles. This time around, I feel like it's going somewhat similarly to game number 1, but the bottom lane is working out a little bit better this time. Even if we did see them struggle in the early stages, the CS numbers are nothing to worry about at all. And it looks like Korea and Smash will be able to just clear out the rest of these minions here and be very comfortable in how this lane is going. And as I say that, Korea takes 1 billion health. It's a little bit unfortunate. Maybe that's a caster curse.
Yeah, Smash put some damage down as well as they disengage. But
Oh, the flash in! And it's not enough damage. VicLa will carry a turret shot 1 billion miles, but that is going to be ShowMaker just saying not even close.
Yeah, not even. The Electrocute proc coming through, just so close to taking ShowMaker out there. I mean, if VicLa had Ignite, that would have been it, but...
Yeah, and ShowMaker now has a flash advantage.
That he does. Level 6 is going to come in soon, and I think this matchup specifically makes it so much more exciting with how much mobility and outplay potential there is.
Ooh, there's a heal as Lucid is going to discover Raptor. Raptor not too happy about that one as the pillar goes down. Lucid just showing Raptor his trophy. A lot of those from Challenger. As ShowMaker here on the roam towards the bottom side. Yeah, this is somewhat frightening. I think they have an idea as to what's going on as some frantic pings are coming out from VicLa. ShowMaker will make his way back to mid, and that will allow them to play a little bit more aggressively there on the bottom side if they would like to. The back is completed by Lucid, but Raptor's still sticking around. That does mean that this Ezreal Seraphine is going to be in a pretty good position. Another charm is going to connect. Nicely done, but VicLa's still able to push ShowMaker away now at level 6.
Yeah, the shot allowing him to dodge a lot of that damage and would have followed up. But still a very close game at this point. I think Clear are doing pretty well on top of that in this top lane matchup. Kept the CS and gold pretty close for a melee versus ranged.
Yeah, probably one of the better Ambessa games that we're seeing so far, as she has struggled a lot here in the LCK. Lucid clearing out vision as VicLa and Raptor just lying in wait, seeing if anyone is going to make their way back through that brush.
Yeah, ShowMaker walks back over. He is going to get jumped.
I think they have an idea.
Oh, Raptor shit moves, though.
Oh, dear. Okay, he is going to be able to get on over. I don't know whether ShowMaker saw him, as VicLa has definitely seen ShowMaker. Charm is going to connect, though. And so that means that ShowMaker gets over to his turret quite comfortably. Lucid is going to turn up, as VicLa is just going to backflip over him. And this red buff will be taken by Raptor, and Raptor gets on in there. Lucid immediately flashes to get away, and Siwoo is on 200 health here in this top lane as well, as Clear just ulted him.
They're going to try and see if they can turn this into a dive. It's such a low health Gnar here.
He hops away, and VicLa is possibly just outplayed. He is. That is a solo kill from Siwoo. Really nicely done, utilizing that flash. The question is, can he do it again? And I don't think he's going to be able to survive this one without that flash available, and there he goes. ShowMaker now moving towards his bottom side as Slayer gets the barrier out. ShowMaker gets the flash on forward, though, and gets a reset and gets himself out.
Yeah, waits out the barrier, gets the damage in just to get that reset and disengage. So it ends up very favorable for Dplus there, the fact they got that kill top lane and one bot.
And they're also going to pick up the dragon here as well, as Lucid, with some free time, will easily pick this one up. So that is a gigantic swing all over the place here for Dplus, moving to 700 gold in the lead. And we're going to have a look at this outplay once again.
I understand wanting to go in to stop the recall, but I think you needed that the Xin Zhao there with higher HP and flash. You know, Raptor's focused on the Krugs, and it just results in VicLa going in too early and dying.
Yeah, and VicLa had to, right? Because he had to stop the back.
But I think you could stop the back and then back away, you know, instead of trying to get the kill there and then. Was allowed the outplay there for the Gnar.
Oh, good flash in there from ShowMaker to make sure that Spirit Rush is enough to grab the kill on
Raptor's fallen really far behind in this jungle matchup. Lucid has just been clearing up a storm.
Yeah. Taking away his blue buff from earlier on, took double scuttle on the opener. And it doesn't get easier as it goes on as well, as Lucid is building towards his Trinity Force. And if he can, like you were talking about this just before, right? If you can like accelerate your jungle so that you can pick up a Trinity Force as they're hitting their first item timing, my goodness, Lucid is going to be very strong.
And that's the thing as well with jungle. With like other lanes, you know, even if you're really fed, it's not like you can increase the amount of minions that come down the lane. But as a jungler, you just get access to their side of the jungle too, and you make your clear faster. Obviously really helps to snowball if you get a sizable lead, and they just can't contest you. Now, Raptor is looking towards the grubs here, but I don't think you win this.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of topside control. Siwoo can rotate down, and Raptor is now put next to the pillar. The Crescent Guard coming on forward is clear, looks for the ulti and doesn't find it. Raptor taken down very low, but so is Lucid, and he is going to get cut up and taken out of the fight. Clear going to go down as well, though, as ShowMaker is turned on and obliterated. VicLa there with a big amount of damage, and Siwoo couldn't really do too much.
Yeah, it was just great movement there from Raptor and VicLa, going over the wall, dodging away from Siwoo's ult. But like, there wasn't really that much contribution from the Gnar. Bit of a split focus, I feel like, from Dplus.
Yeah, I felt like they had sort of all their ducks in a row to make that fight work. And just didn't work out. Now VicLa, with some spare time, moving towards his mid lane. Man, our first 6-game day might indeed be possible as we have a look at it again. Raptor, good defensive play.
Yeah, Siwoo misses that initial boomerang, and then he's just getting damage down on the clear, but because the balance in damage between Raptor and clear, they both end up not going down. And tries to go for the damage onto clear. Clear does fail that flash, but then when the ult comes through from Siwoo, which could have been another trade kill, they'd already flashed to follow ShowMaker and finish him off, so...
And shutting down ShowMaker is a huge deal as well. He was building a lot of momentum as the flash encore is really nice. Smash is going to flash out of the way of it though, so no way in for Raptor, but getting the flash out of the Ashe feels fantastic.
Yeah, no cleanse on Smash. We sometimes see when you're playing against Seraphine Ashe, for example, you would take the cleanse, but I guess in this situation, it's like, it's just a Seraphine, I don't need it. Ends up paying for it with the flash there. Doesn't go down though. But we have seen, despite the flash being burned, generally the Dplus bot lane having a lot more pressure now than they did before.
Yeah, Smash was thinking about a bit of an angle towards Slayer here, but they knew that the Xin Zhao was in the area. Scryer's Bloom working out nicely there with thanks to ShowMaker. True Shot Barrage going to interrupt Smash here as well. And both of these AD carries are just going to go back home. Lucid in the area. And let's see what happens once this dust is going to settle. All of our quests are about to be completed. But with VicLa getting those plates in the mid lane, as well as having a bit of extra time after that death from ShowMaker, he's actually a little bit accelerated in that regard.
I mean, something else is that the fact that Lucid was so far ahead in the jungle matchup, still is like 20 CS ahead, because Raptor got the advantage in those skirmishes, well, in that fight around the grubs, 2-0-1 and up in gold compared to his counterpart, has that Titanic Hydra finish already that we saw Kanavi bring out.
Yep.
Gives you a lot of early burst pressure. I think if that fight had gone wrong, we could be in such a different situation. Oh, he's so low, and Vic was there. Wants revenge for earlier.
Yep, he's going to go in. The flash is once again going to outplay. As VicLa's like, I want to redo. Let me try again. Gets the Gnar, and let's see, not going to happen as VicLa is going to survive this time around. But my goodness, she almost did it again.
Tried his best there, and in essence, buying time is going to be advantageous at least. If you're going to go down, you might as well stall them out, as it's going to allow ShowMaker to get some plates in the mid lane. Now they're setting up for a potential dive bot.
Yeah, and VicLa is teleporting into the mid lane as well. This might be the go button as Slayer getting a lot of value out of that arcane shift, but more plates are going to get destroyed. Backflip going to connect to ShowMaker, almost just burst down, throws out the ulti, gets the ignite off, and now Raptor has made his way in. And that last charge is going to be required for disengage, I think, here for ShowMaker, so not able to get anything more.
It's just a scary pick to go up against this Akali.
Oh, Lucid. Oh. Yeah, going for the 1v1 here just a little bit. Gets the chomp down. Great charm is going to connect. And Lucid just finishes him off with a baseball bat.
Now, as I was saying, the Akali really a scary pick with the upgraded Sork shoes and the Gunblade. But the fact that ShowMaker can just move in, land that charm, and the impact is done. Turning. What could have been...
Oh, flashes over the charm. That was kind of beautiful.
Trader flashes there. This mid lane match has been so exciting.
It really has. Just stuff happening all over the place. There was even the arrow in the bottom lane. I said arrow. I think I was extra excited because of what was happening mid, and nothing happened with the arrow hit. So I apologize for just saying arrow in the middle of your sentence.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the player.
Ah. No, I wasn't.
No, okay.
Not this time.
I mean, KT on playing, so...
That's true. Although Arrow's been in North America for quite some time.
That's true.
All right. Clear and Siwoo continuing to do battle. But Clear is winning out considerably, is what it's feeling like. Mainly because Siwoo got a lot of added attention from the other members of BNK. But still, a good sign the Ambessa is doing okay. As the Hex Optics get completed here by Smash. And Korea just trying to be a little Lulu that's clearing out waves, or at least holding onto them to allow Smash to do so. Yeah,
the Eclipse Spike is just kind of insane for the Ambessa, something we've talked about a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Also, is the Electrocute on the Ambessa. So a lot of burst damage in some of these short trades. I think right now, the solo laners of BNK FEARX are just really scary. There's just, I mean, even the Xin Zhao as well with the Titanic, there's so much burst available.
Yeah.
You can kind of just get exploded before you know what's hit you.
Oh, another charm is pretty nice here for ShowMaker. VicLa avoids the true damage.
It's kind of frustrating because I feel like it's a bit of a struggle to get kill pressure from full HP on the Ahri. And into Gunblade, the Akali just sustains up so much when you're playing in the side lane.
That is continuing to be frustrating. We can see ShowMaker trying to deal with it over and over again. As the siege is set up, it looks like the waves are just going to be cleared out on both sides. Volley from Smash is there as ShowMaker going to get caught. Immediately has to ult to get himself out of the way. And that is going to be ult advantage over to VicLa.
Now, if you're BNK FEARX, you're like, okay, we can be aggressive. We can play to fight.
Well, that's what they think they can do, but the arrow is going to come on through here as Slayer soaked that one up. The Crescent Guard is able to keep Raptor alive, at least for now. These health bars are so low.
Okay, I need to finish my point. You need your mid laner to come.
Oh!
That's why you had the advantage, because the enemy mid doesn't have ult. There he is!
There he is! He's going to make his way over that polymorph, man. Incredible. Still, Smash is going to struggle. True Shot Barrage, not enough. As Wind becomes lightning, but Smash is able to get himself out of the way. Lucid in a whole bunch of trouble. But he just walks on out of there.
Well, things definitely went better when they brought their mid laner in.
They did.
And used the actual advantage they got from being in ShowMaker's ult.
Every ultimate's on cooldown outside of the top laners, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like they should just throw it down for solidarity. I mean, this is a matchup where both of them do kind of just throw it off cooldown sometimes.
Yep. I mean, Siwoo can't actually physically press the button.
Yeah. Mitigating factors, we'll say.
Yeah. That's all right. ShowMaker is going to miss a charm, but does manage to connect the Q and just solo kills Raptor.
The power?
What did he mean by this?
Of the ignite and just press ult multiple times. Very effective.
Not to mention the Q doing a lot of damage.
Yeah. Well, at least Raptor learned a little bit about kill potential.
Let's hope so.
Okay, Herald mid with the Crystalline Overgrowth as well. Oh, but TP coming through.
Yeah, so that should be the end of this turret, but I don't think they're going to get too much more.
Yeah,
as she was also taking bottom lane.
Wasted TP, because you don't save the mid tower. It's not like you're going to achieve much as an Akali just pushing the tower mid. Bot lane also loses a tower. And now Dplus are 2,000 gold ahead. Already 2 dragons in pocket. It is an Ocean Soul, not the highest priority, but a lot of things stacking up against BNK FEARX. I just feel like they fought too early here. You know, Present Guard gets burned, health bars get chunked. You're waiting for the Akali, and maybe they were like, oh, we need to keep them interested. But I think they just ended up so low that they had to disengage and back off. And then VicLa's kind of going in alone here. Not a play.
Into a Lulu, it feels
I'm a big fan of.
Very suboptimal.
Lulu into one diver there's no decision making. You polymorph. It's that simple.
Just keyboard your buttons onto that champion. That would be the move. As ShowMaker actually using the Spirit Rush to get the true damage from the Q.
Yeah, get
very
the
nicely
turn.
done.
And then having Malignance as well just means your ult does so much damage. Oh, Charm hits.
Yeah, but Raptor and Kellin are in the area still. That Electrocute proc, not feeling the best. VicLa does have a minion wave to go to, so he should be all right. As 15 seconds on the Ocean Dragon.
And the additional honey fruits should just be able to sustain up off that, be full HP. Setting up for this dragon, no summoners on the bot lane of Dplus, so I think they are definitely targets. They have flash on Clear, flash on VicLa. We saw what Chovy did in the last series, flashing in with the Akali.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of looked to do that to Dplus's bot lane if they push into the river.
And VicLa does like to be that guy, especially more recently. So I'd like to see what he can actually do there. Hasn't happened just yet, though, and this Drake is still alive.
We see
milling about.
Clear going for the recall because it was about half HP. He's going to TP in and look to have that pressure. Unfortunately, Slayer also gets chunked out.
Arrow is going to connect there as well as the volley comes in. He tries to keep himself alive with the barrier, and they get the ward over. Smash might have actually flashed into his death there if he had it available. And I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, would have been regrettable. The damage was done, literally. You got him low enough that they can't really contest the dragon. So should just be a free pickup for Dplus here.
Yeah, Kellin gets a ward in, teleport towards the bottom lane.
Oh, they're TPing anyway.
Yeah, but also this dragon's gone.
And they can just walk away. You're into a Trundle. Trundle can just put pillars up and disengage.
Yeah, so that is a second regrettable teleport to come on
like
in.
BNK FEARX's teleports have not been super sharp in this game. Some late decisions, I think, are made. And Clear will get some pressure down on this bot lane tower, at least. That's something to take away from it, but it doesn't really feel that good.
Yeah, he might have just assumed that he wasn't going to be able to...
That's a TP to defend the tower.
Yeah.
That will actually change the flow of game.
And this could also be a little bit of an issue as the charm point blank and the pillar there as well to lock him in place. Nothing this Ezreal could do. And Slayer is just going to be dead. Siwoo had teleported in, so he gets that big old shield for himself. Is now Clear, dealing with the hyper procs from this mini Gnar. Charging up towards Mega. Public Execution comes down, but that was right into the enemy team.
Don't think you wanted to ult in there.
No.
I think there was a more realistic scenario that you like path down towards the right, you ult to buffer any CC that comes in, maybe if you get shot with an Ashe arrow. Ulting into the Ashe, we'll go back to the Lulu point.
Yeah.
Really easy decision making for the Lulu. Can you guess what the Lulu's going to do?
Glitter Lens.
Well, that is potentially something, but
maybe Polymorph as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also has Wild Growth, so the chances of actually getting a kill there are
and that one can't accidentally do something else if you target the wrong person with it.
Yeah. This was great from ShowMaker, getting right on top of the Ezreal, not really given any opportunity to dodge, waiting for the movement to be used. And here, pathing into the enemy jungle was scared of Lucid a bit. I guess didn't have full vision on everyone, so didn't really know where they were. Like, we have spectator vision, so we knew they were all in that brush. And knew that, like, Lucid had looped background some, you know, maybe...
Clear knew very quickly.
He found out.
He certainly
found out. If he wasn't aware beforehand, but not an ideal situation.
That is Soul Point, though, as a result of everything that sort of happened in that last passage of play.
And there's a decent amount of poke from the bot lane of BNK FEARX, so having to sustain against that, never bad. Again, Ocean Soul definitely one of the weakest, but...
I mean, there's a Spirit Visage on Lucid. He can use his health bar to tank a lot of poke.
There's still some value. In the course of the fight, if it heals like, you know, 500 to 1,000 HP across your team, that's still solid. Unfortunately, I do think champions like Akali and Ambessa don't really give Smash much window to heal up.
No, he should probably just die immediately if they do go in. The problem is you are dealing with this this Lulu situation. You were talking about, you know, the fact that Korea hasn't needed to do very much difficult math so far this game, but also press ult on smash when clear press ult on smash is that's an easy equation.
Yeah, I do think that BNK FEARX need to make Korea's decision-making difficult. There should be multiple targets diving in. If you're diving in as a solo champion,
well, Arrow is going to get flashed here by Clear, who once again presses his R button, but Lucid is just going to walk at him, and ShowMaker dashes over the wall. Lucid is still looking for more, as the Wild Growth is trying to keep him alive. Yeah, there is the ulti. True Shot Barrage actually also doing a fair bit of work, and VicLa finishes off ShowMaker. BNK FEARX actually the ones to come out on top in that little skirmish.
Kellin saving Clear there, just on super low HP, keeps him alive with the heal. And they're able to turn the fight around, finding ShowMaker a bit of an overinvestment to try and take down the Ambessa, and this time bought a lot of time for the rest of his team to move into position. See the replay here. Raptor just jump on the blue buff. He gets a little bit messy. The Ashe arrow comes in, Clear flashes upwards, crazily enough. And you think he's going to go down, but Kellin ends up coming in and just saving him from that last auto.
And that was through Ignite as well.
And then that ult from Kellin also. Korea flashed out of it, but could have extended through and just been a problem for the whole team. So good flash from Korea there, but kind of symptomatic of that fight going very wrong for Dplus. And now smashing Korea down summoners once again.
Yeah.
There's a clear goal for BNK FEARX. Kill enemy bot lane.
We'll see whether they can succeed. I think with VicLa being as powerful as he is, it's going to be a difficulty. As Slayer looking to try and take down Sheer, doesn't hit that last Mystic shot. He's needed a few extra ergs to try and get there.
Do you think he's named after the band, or do you think he's...
Or maybe he's named after the StarCraft player?
Maybe the Verb.
Slayer's boxer.
Actually, it wouldn't be a Verb, it'd be a noun.
Yeah, sort of the wrong part of it, isn't it? It's mainly the boxer part that's his name.
Yeah.
So perhaps not. It's all right. Arrow going to connect onto VicLa, and ShowMaker looking to try and get some revenge. He does get into the pit, but the Spirit Rush is still going to be there. Now Siwoo trying to get on through, but the rest of BNK trying to keep themselves in position. Clear, not going to find that ulti. Good wall up there. And now ShowMaker comes on around. Raptor very, very low, and Lucid is just so hard to kill. Wild Growth connects onto Siwoo to try and keep him alive, but Clear is still being frustrating, but it's a double for the Ashe, and they're just chasing Slayer down. Great dodge comes on through, and that is going to be the triple for Smash.
Smash's movement in this fight was kind of insane. I can be honest, he did not need to do all of that for them to win this fight, but damn did it look good. Dodging all those Mystic shots up close to the Ezreal. This fight for Dplus, that arrow that comes in, catching the Akali, and removing a threat that I was concerned about for the bot lane. We see Siwoo on this flank here, doesn't get the full slam of Kellin, but he's playing bouncer in this position and making it very awkward for BNK FEARX to disengage. ShowMaker, unfortunately his ult time's out, but they don't even need it to clear up this fight. And then Smash moving forward here. Okay, he actually got hit by more Mystic shots, but dodge that one. Dodge that one. Yeah.
And doesn't really care about getting hit by a W. So that's fine. They do get themselves the Ocean Soul and the Baron. And now Dplus Kia are really off to the races. 7,000 gold in the lead on top of all of those very big buffs. Is going to make life very, very hard. Also, Smash went back, completed a Mortal Reminder, and bought BF Sword Pickaxe. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of money that he had.
That's a lot of damage picked up now. Especially in comparison to Slayer's 2 and a bit items. Smash is closing in on 4. Because BF Sword Pickaxe isn't like a bit, that's like a lot.
Yeah, that's most of Infinity Edge.
Yeah. That's like all of the edge.
Yeah, he just needs to find someone to buy a handle for him. As VicLa comes on over to usher Siwoo away from his inner turret. He might actually do so. Gets the mini Gnar back as he will hop away. Kellin looking for an angle, but his inner turret will just be taken for free. And ShowMaker is babysitting a cannon here in this bottom lane as well.
How do you think it works with... Oh, Kellin in trouble.
Yeah, gets the encore, but the hop does come out, dodges the beat drop as well, and that should be the end of Kellin. Does get a heal out, but the hyper is going to be enough. And VicLa also having to deal with that one. In the meantime, I mean, the inner turrets are falling down. Kind of everything is falling apart. Gnar comes on through the wallop, the crush, and then a slap to the face to take the solo kill against VicLa. And that should be the death nail. DK gonna break open the base. And ShowMaker makes his way in from the bottom side of the map as he had a full minion wave dealing with that inhibitor turret as well. And in the blink of an eye, in a bit of a whimper actually, BNK just kind of go down.
Yep, struggling to defend now. TP coming in from Siwoo means they're committing to the end here on the back of their Baron.
24 seconds on VicLa. That might be the time that they can go for a heroic defense as the arrow is going to connect onto Slayer. They don't want to give them that opportunity as Siwoo just hopping on in, and ShowMaker's going to help finish that kill off. The Nexus turrets are on the floor, and it's a glorious charm. It's another bundle of kills over to Smash, and the Nexus turrets will fall as well as the Nexus, and Dplus will finish off round one with a bang.
I don't think it's too surprising, the result overall. BNK FEARX trying some new things, bringing in some players